The Saints didn't make the flashy pick at number 14, but they made the right pick, taking Fuaga out of Oregon State. Let's talk about it right here on the Straight Up Saints podcast.
You're listening to the Straight Up Saints podcast.
I think this is a terrific move for the Saints. At pick number 14, they get Taliese Fuaga from Oregon State. This is a very, very exciting prospect. I think this is the type of guy that A, fits a position of need, and B, is also just a great prospect. And I thought when you come into this draft, he's one of those guys in that bubble for the Saints that you circle, right? Whether it was him, whether it was Olu from Penn State, Brock Bowers from Georgia, obviously an exciting guy. But you look at Fuaga, and as we got closer to this draft, particularly earlier today, as I was going through these prospects, I really like Olu from Penn State. And if the Saints drafted him, I'd be excited about this. But what I love about Fuaga is that this dude just finishes plays every single time. And you look in particular, two games, the UCLA tape and the Utah tape. I think you put that on. One, it's a clinic with run blocking, something that Olu's not particularly great at. I think his run blocking needs to get better. Fuaga is polished when it comes to that. Now, there's been some concerns about whether he's an offensive tackle or an offensive guard. I think he's still an offensive tackle, and I think the Saints are going to try him at right tackle. But the fact that there is flexibility there, it gives you a bunch of options. Whereas Trevor Penning, we don't know if he's going to be good enough at offensive tackle, and he doesn't play guard, so you don't know where to put him. I think with Fuaga, the Saints get tremendous flexibility there. And like I said, position of need. We don't know who's starting at offensive tackle right now. Ryan Ramczyk, he may retire. Pete, not on the roster. Penning, good luck with trying to develop him. You have a new staff coming in. Maybe they can find the secret sauce to make the former number one pick do his thing. But for New Orleans, it's not just the fact that they got a position need that I love the move. It is that they didn't have to make a trade up. There was so much talk about them working the phones. But when you look at the way this draft played out, with Penix going to Atlanta at 8, with McCarthy going to Minnesota at 10, with the Broncos surprising people, Sean Payton did the Saints a favor, taking Bo Nix. That takes an offensive tackle and pushes it down the board to the Saints. And then Brock Bowers goes 13, which opens the door for the Saints to get Fuaga. So you get a guy that was in that bubble. And earlier today, at the start of Thursday morning, I put out 5 players I'd like to see the Saints draft. At the top of my list, I put Fuaga. So you get him. You don't give up any extra assets. So you still have pick 45, and you can move up if you want. You can move back if you want and accumulate some picks. Stay at 45 for all I care at this point. So to do those, not give up assets, tremendous. I'll say this. The way I feel about Fuaga is the way I felt about Ramczyk back in 2018, 2017, 2017. The Ramczyk pick was not the flashy pick. And at the end of the round, when you use that pick and it was part of the Brandon Cooks trade, sure, you may want a flashy player. But you watch Ramczyk's tape, you're like, oh, this guy is ready to go. I think Fuaga will be ready to go. I love the pick, man. And I'm really excited about this. And I hope Saints fans are too. I know that offensive lineman picks can get boring, especially when you don't use them right. I think Fuaga is going to be a good player for the Saints. And if this doesn't end up working out, we could have bigger and much more drastic conversations about the Saints and how they operate and how they develop the offensive tackle position. But right now, if you are supporting the black and gold, I would be ecstatic about this. Like I said, they needed offensive linemen. Heck, they still need offensive linemen. But I'm really excited about Fuaga coming to New Orleans. I want to know your thoughts. So as always, guys, go down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Also, like the video and stay tuned for more content. We're going to do, a bunch of live shows, a bunch of recaps after every pick. So stay here at Boot Crew Media, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all that good stuff. But like I said, Fuaga's going to New Orleans. And now does the focus shift elsewhere? Does it shift to receiver? Does it go D-line? We'll see. There's a lot of defensive players dropping in this draft. Maybe the Saints can get one at 45. But that's going to wrap this quick video up. I'll be back later tonight to cover the Saints' first round.